Hi again, David Daniels from Radon Safe Homes. Just making a short video today. Um, Nothing new in the technical part of radon testing or radon mitigation, but just I guess reaching out to anyone out there who would be seeing this regarding how people are treated, whether it's a radon business or any other business. I received a call yesterday from an elderly lady, and a house that we actually did a test for, and it came in a little high, like 7.3, something like that. And of course, we gave her a proposal, and we never pressure anybody or harass them to get a sale. I've never believed in marketing myself or my business that way. Even when we were doing 60 systems a week, we never did that. It was based on reputation, a fair price, but highly skilled workers, highly skilled radon systems that were put together, high quality. And anyway, she said she was going to get a few more bids, and I said that's fine. I would do the same thing. Whenever you're going to spend over $1,000 on something in your home, you want to make sure that people are qualified, that the installer is qualified, not just the owner. When I had my first business and this one, it's always been anyone working in the field has to be certified and properly trained, not just myself. They don't work under my certification. That's not a thing. They have to be certified themselves in order to do radon testing and radon mitigation. And anyway, she had called a few other companies. One company was very nice to her and said, no problem. We can, since we already know what you need, we'll send you a proposal and let us know. And then the next day, she actually received an email, a second email from them saying our installers will be there May, whatever, at 10 a.m. And she's like, wait a second, I didn't hire these guys. I just got a proposal. So she called them and they're like, yeah, you hired us. And she was like, no, I didn't. I just wanted a price. So something shady there. They were very nice up front, but then they did something pretty shady, pretty unethical, something we would never do. And the second company she called to get an estimate told him the same thing, that she had another company come in and test, that they're certified, and then rather than asking her questions about the house, just double checking on some things and emailing her a proposal, they basically, the person she spoke to just started interrogating her, like, who is this company? How do you know they're certified? Why did they come to your house? You can come to our place and pick up a free tester, all this stuff. And she was just like, why are you jumping down my throat? I'm just, giving you some basic information here and just kind of trying to compare apples to apples. And needless to say, with their, two bad experiences with the other two companies, she called us and said, hey, I want to hire you guys. You're the only ones that actually treated me properly and right and gave me good information. So that's something that I always do when I come to an estimate. I go over everything. I explain what's going to happen to your house, what's all involved, so you're comfortable with it. There is no secretive things. There is no, secret formula that we don't want to just dissolve or disclose that someone might copy or something like that. There's millions of these systems all over the country. I did not invent these systems. I think we improved upon them over the years, found different things to do to make them better than what I was taught, 25, 26 years ago. But still, they're all basically the same. And it's just your approach as far as how do you want to install it. Is it going to be an outside system, where you see the fan and piping going up the side of the house? Or is it a system going through the garage and roof where you only see the pipe through the roof from the outside? Is it new construction where everything's hidden? I mean, you see the pipe in the basement, but then it disappears into the common wall between the garage and house. And then fans in the attic and pipe goes through the roof. So that's the best way to do a system, best aesthetically anyway. And, so again, everything's very similar with every company. We've all went through the same schools, same classes, all got certified the same and all that. But it doesn't mean you know how to run a business. It doesn't mean you know how to treat people properly. And that comes from, just life experiences and being trained by proper people that I was trained by and worked with and was taught how to market and sell things and how to approach it. And, the first thing is to be comfortable with somebody, and that's what I try to do. So, yeah, super important. Don't just hire the first company, even if it's us. Get a couple other bids, talk to them, find out what they're going to do. They should come to your house. Um, they, even if this person said, hey, I just, they wanted a basic price up front, but they would still want them to come do an estimate at the house to check everything out. Maybe I missed something, if it's possible, if it's at all possible, when you're looking for a bid for a radon system, they should be at your house to see how it's laid out. How are the floor joists running? Where's the electrical? Where's the plumbing? Where's the water main coming in? Do you have an actual sump pit with, working drain tiles? There's a million things to look at in a house. Myself being a licensed builder and have built many homes over the years, I know how everything's put together from the ground up before there's even, a house there. And I know how homes have been built from the late 1800s till now. I know how things have changed over time. I know how foundations have changed and how drainage has changed. I've studied building sciences for 25, 26 years now, so I understand how all these things work together and how a radon system should be installed in your house and how it's going to work and what's the best approach. Older homes, sometimes you need more than one suction point. Sometimes you need a large vacuum fan. Newer homes, one suction point should do it. One fan should, a weak fan with a good air volume will work. When you go to school, they teach you the best fan for a system is the smallest possible fan that will do the job. There's a company out there that'll say, hey, do you want a fan upgrade? Do you want the Supermax fan that's going to get you lower radon levels? That's not how radon systems work. A bigger fan on a system is not necessarily going to get you lower radon levels. That is a scam. Don't do it. You're wasting money. Might as well just take some money and put a match to it. So make sure that you get the best information possible, and of course that the person is also certified, not just the owner, person working on your house. How long have they been in the field? How long was their training? Training someone for 2 weeks and then throwing them to the wolves is not a good idea. Ben was trained for a year before he did his own system by himself. So, and other employees were trained for 3 to 6 months before they were able to work on their own. One exception, Nick Marks, who grew up working with his hands and doing construction, he was good to go in about a month. So that was great for me. He was and he became my manager when Chris Voigt left. So, but any questions at all? Again, contact me through the video. Hope you folks have a great day.